Hey guys, and welcome back to Every Scratch Block Part 3. Today we will be looking at events and control. Also, thank you guys for getting more than 50 views on Part 1, which is now it's my most popular video. So, thank you for supporting the Scratch series. Remember, I'm making a playlist with all of the parts in it. So share with anyone who's interested in this, and let's get on with the video. Okay, let's start with events. First up, we have the when green flag clicked, the most used block in pretty much any Scratch project, because it's what starts it. Whenever you click the green flag, it triggers this, and whatever's under it plays. Next up is the when something keys pressed. You can set this to pretty much any key on your keyboard, that is, except for some of the control and tab keys. So all the letter keys and number keys, and the arrow keys, and the space key. Any other keys, though, aren't compatible. When this sprite clicked is pretty simple. Whatever is under here gets triggered when you click on the sprite. When backdrop switches to whatever backdrop. This can be triggered when you have, let's say, one of these. Like, let's say you switch it to another backdrop. When I switch it, it triggers this and plays all the code that's under it. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. When loudness or timer is less than 10. Loudness corresponds with the sound, volume, and the timer corresponds with this timer, which when you start, as you can see here, it keeps playing, and then you just have to click the green flag again to reset it. And yes, and it plays whatever is under this. Next up are the 3 message blocks. The first one is when I receive a message. This happens right after you broadcast a message, and this can go in any other sprite as it broadcasts it to all these, which triggers the code under it. Broadcast and wait does the same thing as broadcast, but it pauses the code that you slot it into until all the code in here is finished. Next up is the control panel, which has all these, which are also extremely useful in your Scratch games. Wait something seconds, delays, and it delays the code for a set amount of time. The repeat something, it repeats the code that's inside of it for how long you tell it to. Forever, whatever's inside the code, it loops around forever and ever. If and if else. In the if block, if there's a certain condition, then the code inside will play. The if else does the same thing for the top, but if the code doesn't play, then it does whatever you put inside the else block. Wait until is like the wait something seconds, except instead it waits until a certain condition is met. And repeats until a certain condition is met. The stop block can be set to multiple things. When it's stop all, as you can see, you can't put any code under it, as it stops all the code in the project. This script stops whatever code's in this script, and that's why it also ends here, because once it ends the script, it only ends the script that it's in. And in other scripts in Sprite, this is useful when you want to only focus on one thing in your game or project. And here, you could keep the script going no matter what. Next up are the clone blocks. There's the start as clone, create clone, and delete this clone. When I start as clone is triggered after you create a clone. When you create a clone, then it makes a duplicate of whatever of your sprite, which then you can have whenever they start as a sprite. Whenever they start as a sprite, you can put code in so they can act like NPCs or whatever you want for your game. Delete this clone simply deletes the clone that it's in. So let's say I create one and then it just deletes itself because it's right after. When you click the green flag, it deletes all the clones that you made. And that is part 3 of every single Scratch block. Next episode, we're looking into the sensing category and the operators category.